Is brought to you by visitlauderdale.com.
Welcome. Take two. Sorry for that little hiccup. Technical difficulties here. We could say it was something with the transmission and the Wi-Fi, but Lubie just forgot to put the plug in and the battery ran out. So it's, at least it was easily diagnosed.
Hello.
But I was sitting here with my little, is it a Mayo face now or a Trump face where I'm sitting at the defense table?
You look like Joe Tacopina after yesterday's indictments were opened up, just denying everything. It was fantastic. But it's a food show, so that's a good thing. And we're in a place where you can eat good food.
Where are we, Defo?
We're at Wicked Cheesesteaks here, one of my favorite stops on the tour. Brian is, I think he's got a masterpiece working here with the Mayo, the Defo sandwich, which has been strangely popular.
Yeah.
And then he's going to make an extrapolation of a Lubia also, I think.
First of all, I am giddy, even though it was like a crazy morning, and that's why I walked in a little bit grumpy.
Oh,
but
a little bit grumpy.
I still have money.
Guys, a little grumpy?
And I have
Don't talk to me now.
We have great support here. We have a full Wicked Cheesesteak gallery here. We got Bonnie DePacio in attendance. We got Jim Sarney, Svengali in attendance. We're going to have a guest on the show today because this is the 1 week that I miss sports and being a sports writer, Defo, Masters Week. And an old friend and colleague of mine, Randy Mell, a former golf.
Mild-mannered Randy Mell.
Very mild-mannered. He used to cover back in the day when they were a scandal factory. And but then he ended up on the golf beat after I left the golf beat and went on to other things. Then Randy was the Sun Sentinel golf writer. And he also then moved on to bigger and better things, the Golf Channel. He was a correspondent there. And now he's kind of living the nice semi-retired life up in Central Florida. So we're going to have him on the show. We're going to be talking about Masters Week, the azaleas, and the begonias or whatever else that's up there. I'm not a botanist. the tall.
You think the
Georgia
flowers are real? I mean, we know the birds
are fake.
I mean,
birds are fake.
What's real there, Mike Mayo?
They do all kinds of cosmetic enhancements. They should move the Masters to Boca Raton because it is the most cosmetically enhanced golf course. But it is a beautiful place, and we're going to talk with Randy about that. But we are at Wicked Cheesesteaks. Come on out here. We love Brian. It's at 4826 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale, conveniently located across from Holy Cross Hospital. So after you get your good clearance reports from the cardiologist, you just head right on across the street.
Or after dining here. I mean, you know you're
go over
safe.
there.
Yeah.
But, the name of the place, I think, is like what? Wicked Cheesesteaks, wings, and pizza. And he keeps adding things. Every month we show up, first of all, it's a little, he's got ice cream now. That looks absolutely fantastic.
He makes his own ice cream. It's homemade
ice cream.
Make sure
Ronnie loves it.
Watch out Kilwins, watch out Jackson's. You got Wicked now in the game.
He has a dessert cart thing now.
Just what I need after stuffing my face. And a little bit of ice cream to throw on top. And he's also got the moon pies.
Got the bakery thing going out, too.
Lobster rolls. Yeah. Can't forget, because he's from Maine. He's the king of the lobster roll. And like I was saying before, Lubie is enjoying his last leavened meal before the 8 days of Passover, Pesach. Yes. And to all those celebrating, we hope you have a good Seder tonight and that you enjoy your matzah braais and matzah for the next 8 days. And I don't know, maybe a little bit of milk and magnesia or something.
Did you get the giant box of matzahs? They were like, there was like a Costco size back in the day.
I
remember getting it. I was so happy. Yeah.
I got it at my local wholesale club. They come in a box of like 6 of them for $12.99, which is better than Publix, which is selling them for $4 a box or whatever. But
I think they're selling them by the matzah.
I still have 2 of last year's matzahs in my cupboard. I haven't thrown out yet.
They don't ever get stale, huh?
What happened? No, they're matzah.
They're already stale. stale. It's already stale. That's the thing with matzah. It comes
You don't have to worry
stale.
about expiration dates there. That's
Start stale. There's no way for them to go except
more stale.
just
Yeah.
dry.
Lean into it.
They're
No,
aged. They're aged after a while.
I
yeah.
get the big box, and my brother Burl Mayo comes over, and he takes 3 of them, and I have 3 of them, and my mom now, she can't touch the stuff because it's. I mean, she likes the taste of it, but with her constitution at this point, she doesn't want to get any more backed up than she already is.
Are
So-
they not by nature gluten free? Also, I mean, you would think so. No,
this is incorrect.
okay.
Defo.
All right.
Gluten is wheat. Matzah is wheat. It's just unleavened
So it
bread.
doesn't
So
rise.
it's completely gluten, but without any of the flavor or
Positive,
texture.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's
Right near Yonah Schimmel's
there you go.
in New York, there was a matzah factory, or it might have even been a part of one. And that was the greatest. Was getting them fresh from this
was that
place.
Straits, or I forget which
Yeah,
one is in New
I
York.
mean, this is where they manufactured all of the matzahs, I
Straits
guess, for the
matzah,
city. But
yeah.
you know,
Well-
you could go in there and buy them fresh, and it was fantastic.
Well, that's starting tonight. We are not in the matzah zone yet. We are in the full bread zone. What's up? What's going on?
Oh, you don't know.
Oh, Randy Mel is
Yes.
there. Okay,
I
well,
don't know
I'm
how to
not
tell
even
you
paying
that on
attention.
air.
I'm okay. But no,
Hello.
we're going to be. We'll talk about sandwich wars because there is now. If you come into Wicked Cheesesteaks, there's big monitors that has my
Love it.
big ugly face, and there's the Mike Mayo pork sandwich with provolone, and then Brian, what unbeknownst to any of us, put a Defo sandwich on the menu that is basically like a cheesesteak on a house baked
roll.
Kaiser roll
Wildly
with
popular
onions,
for some reason. I don't know.
and and apparently the early reports are that
It's
the
kicking
Defo is
Mayo's butt.
kicking the Mayo's pork butt, so to speak.
But we have to get a boxing poster together. You know, where we're doing a little stare down.
It's
That'd be
sad.
great.
I feel kind of like against UConn on Sunday. I'm
Oh,
just getting
jeez.
dragged up and down the court. But anyway, without further ado, Randy Mel is here on the Lunchbox, making his
Hey,
debut.
look at this man.
We want to say greetings, salutations, and happy Masters Week. I need that kind of piano
And
music.
I don't. I have
some
the music
fake
somewhere.
birds.
around.
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends. That's not the Masters.
No,
They don't
it's
get
the
the jungle
birds.
birds, but they
It's
will
the-
someday.
it's
Put
like
the wrong
birds
track
from
It's
in
like-
there.
not Zoo Miami.
yeah.
It's Augusta National Golf Club.
They'll need Rod McGill to do the ID on the birds.
Randy Mel, how are you today?
Good. It's
Not getting the
His
greatest signal there
connection's
from
not
I'm
Randy
getting a
Mel.
little
Maybe
wonky
just
there.
left. Okay,
Hold on a
let's try him
second.
again.
Let's see. Are you on a PC or a Mac? That's
Okay,
the
maybe
Randy
better
Mel, how
now.
are you?
I'm on my
Way better.
personal computer. Actually, I'm on my laptop.
That's
Whatever
good.
it is,
That's
don't
the way.
move,
That's
you're
supposed-
working
you're
now.
good.
Don't move.
Now
Don't
it's
I was
move,
gonna say,
Randy.
you're right
It's
there.
all us. Everything is us today.
That wasn't
Lubie
us.
forgot
That
to bring.
wasn't
That
us.
wasn't us. I'm still going to blame
You
Lubie.
can. That's
That's
fine.
it.
I'll accept it.
All right. How are you, Randy?
I'm
What's
good, Mike. I feel like we had so many Masters where we were sitting next to each other the whole week, and we've seen players turn back the clock so many times there. I feel like we're turning back the clock. I think we were in, what were we, Mike? Row H, I think seats 13, 14. I remember.
Yeah, it's you have a much better memory than me. I remember that I went to I covered 15 Masters, I believe.
Really?
For the first one was the year that Nick
It's a lot of egg
Faldo.
salad.
It was a lot of pimento cheese. It's amazing I haven't had any kind of heart traumatic events yet. But no, I started with the Spartanburg's Herald Journal in South Carolina. I covered my first Masters for them in 1989, right before I got hired by the Sun Sentinel. And then I did the next 14 in a row, I think, for the Sun Sentinel. And we did a couple together because I was kind of the columnist and you became the golf beat writer. And how many, I guess, I loved all those sandwiches in the green cellophane, and it was the egg salad. I never touched the pimento cheese, but I did like the ham and cheese and those chicken ones that was kind of up there. How many did you see me consume like the most in one day?
I'm trying to remember because I think we would count and keep track, and it was trying to break records and establishing records. And I think it was around 30 in a week. That's my memory. Something.
I
like
remember 30 in a day some days. I must have been eating back in the back room there. I would just start stress eating as the deadlines would approach, and of course the leaders wouldn't come off the course until it got dark, and they wanted the copy yesterday. But what's going on? How many did you do? And you ended up playing the course, right?
I did, and you spin me. Thank you. You spin me right into one of my favorite stories, and it's a best breakfast at Augusta National story. So it's a little fits in your wheelhouse here. But I think it was 21. But breakfast. You might not.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's
We're
a
getting a
good
little wonky again, the signal. I don't know if
Wow,
it's
look
us
at
or you,
this.
but
It's
now
not
we've
us.
already got like ice cream. I'm going to spill everywhere. We've got Randy, who's going to tell us about breakfast at Augusta.
I think he's frozen.
Is he frozen?
Breakfast. Am I
Oh,
there?
there he is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
You
you're
are there.
here.
You're there. We're ready for
We're
you.
we're a little glitchy today. It's kind of one of those days. But
Send
yeah,
those
go
on
ahead.
to Lubie while
Yeah,
you're
go
at
ahead.
it.
Yep, we got
All right.
wings, we got shakes. Go ahead.
Well, Mike, you remember the lottery there to play the golf course on Monday. So it's 97. It's my first Masters. It's already a wonderful Masters because Tiger's winning in an epic route that transcends sports, his win in 97. So I come in Sunday morning, as all the writers do. Are you hearing me okay?
Yes,
Yeah, we
you sound
got you.
great. You sound great.
Okay. And Mike, you remember the first thing you did Sunday morning coming into the media centers, you'd look up at the scoreboard where they had the scroll, the electronic scroll, to see if you got picked in the lottery to play Augusta National. So already a great week. I look up and I can't believe it. I'm picked in my very first Masters, and I go running up to row H up there, and you look at me with absolute disgust and disdain. It was like Masters.
I do remember cursing. Yeah.
And I got probably 5.
Yeah, I was a little bitter. I finally got picked in my last Masters.
Oh,
and
wow.
I think I might have, went up to the media director, Glenn Greenspan, who's actually from here for a long time. He was working in media relations, various places down in South Florida before becoming the Masters PR. I think we lost Randy for a second.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get him back. But a lot of fond memories there at Augusta National.
You were actually on a recording saying, if you can get me 11,000 more votes,
Yeah, exactly.
I think I can win this lottery and play the course.
Luckily, the Georgia DA never did catch wind of that phone call, but they did find they stacked the ballot. They let me get in there. Randy, you're back with us. I did want to congratulate you in your intro. I didn't mention that you are recently honored with, I guess it's a good honor now. Our friend, and it's hard to think of him in past tense, late friend Tim Rosafort. Recently at the Honda Classic, they honored you with the Tim Rosafort. I guess it's like a lifetime achievement for contributions to golf coverage. Congrats. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yep. I'll make sure. Great, because had such a great run of golf writers. I followed what was.
Yes.
That might be the worst connection in the history of broadcasting.
His signals are
Yeah, you know what? Let me tell him to call in, and we'll try to do
I was
a
going to
show.
say
Meanwhile, we've got
he's
here.
there now.
He's there.
Okay,
try him,
let's keep trying.
One more time, and then we can do phone.
Randy, if this one doesn't take, then I'll ask you to call in, and we'll do a little phone. Or actually, Lubie will call you, and so we could have a conversation that people besides cyborgs will understand. So,
yeah, it's popping in and out a lot here, but no, that was a big honor because look, the Sun Sentinel Golf Writers. It was Dorman, it was Robbie Andrew, it was you, it was Larry Dorman. What a run! I follow all of that, so it was pretty daunting to follow you, especially Mike. So it was a nice to be honored like that.
It was a great honor, but it's not hard to follow me. It's easy because everybody hated me. And then there's only one way to go, which is like, you're the mild-mannered Midwesterner. I was the brash Brooklyn guy, total outsider to golf, that, wasn't afraid to ruffle some feathers and piss people off. And that's what I did. So I'm not expecting any Lifetime Achievement Awards except for the eating pimento cheese sandwich or egg salad sandwich Hall of Fame at Augusta.
That sets me up, tees me up for maybe the lunch experience. This one.
We're fading again. All right, Lubie's going to call you so that we could understand you, and then we're going to
becoming a little painful, I would have to say.
Yeah,
more painful than the story about you being jealous of Randy Mel getting to play Augusta National.
Could you imagine that? Me being bitter and jealous?
You know what? We're beginning to find things out about you that are not necessarily overwhelmingly flattering. Which, we're going to try and get Randy Mel. Randy Mel, actually, I believe he followed me with a golf show that he did either with Tim Rosafort or Larry Dorman, or maybe a combination of both. And they did a radio show on golf that ended up becoming, I think, syndicated around the country. And of course, speaking of bitter and jealous, this wasn't really a case of bitterness, but it was sort of perplexing that we had been doing this trivia show for years, trying to get it on more stations. And they do this golf show, and we're thinking, a golf show. And sure enough, it became very popular, and they ended up doing real well with it.
In the same vein that the fishing shows early on Saturday mornings took off, because it's as people are buying their bait and getting their boats loaded up, and people would actually
be able to play golf. Yeah,
same thing. People are going out to play golf. They're in their car. They're getting warmed up. All right, we've got Randy back this time in the 20th century mode, the phone lines. Can you hear me, Randy? And can we hear you? That's the question.
Yeah, I can hear you. I think Augusta National's jamming the signal, Mike. They're carrying a grid.
Where's Hootie? Have you seen Hootie Johnson out there?
It's the ghost of Shula and Marianne Stevens and Ray Floyd. And Ray Floyd and me got into it one Masters, but that's another story for another day.
Oh,
but
that's what we were cut out. That's what I was teeing up. I said, you teed me up for Mike Mayo's worst lunch story. I remember sitting there beside you up there in row H when you heard what you don't want to hear when you're covering the Masters. It was like it was the loudspeaker up front going, Mike Mayo, will you please report to the chairman's office?
Oh, wow. Mayo.
It's like getting
even then.
Wow. What's wrong with
you want to take it from there, Mike?
Yeah. It wasn't the chairman's office. It was actually the general manager's office at Augusta National. Beautiful clubhouse. They have a general manager who's there to, take care of the property and cater to all the members' needs during the regular season. And, Augusta National is not a place, everybody associates it with the Southern and gentility, all that stuff. It's actually a place for the top, 0.11% of the top 1%. It's all the business, barons, CEOs from around the country, a lot of New Yorkers. But anyway, I get called into the GM's office, and who do I find there but Raymond Floyd? Because earlier that day, some story surfaced that another player accused Raymond of cheating during the Doral event, and he made this assertion after his round. And basically, after Raymond finished his round, there was a group of reporters who were asking Raymond, who were there to get his reaction and response. Only everybody was too gutless to do it. And Raymond had just shot another good round, like a 69 was kind of at his age was considered a good round. He thought everybody was there to, just marvel at his round. But we were really all there to just get the response. Of course, it fell on me to ask the question. I did the dirty work. It kind of like he had that look on his face after I said, Raymond, so-and-so accused you of cheating at Doral a couple of weeks ago. How do you respond? And, it looked like he had that somebody just clubbed him across the head with a 2-iron, and he just denied it and then walked off. And then I got the please report to the general manager's office. Go into the general manager's office, and who do I see but a Raymond Floyd doing his best Don Shula impersonation. He saw steam coming out of his ears, red face, and he just proceeded to lash into me like, how the hell could I do that just after that round in front of all those people? I had to explain to him that all those people were there because of what the person said. We ended up, trying to explain each other's points of view. And needless to say, Raymond was never a big fan of mine after that point. But that's it. That's part of the game. Randy, on the other hand, like Rosafort, you managed to stay in the good graces of, I guess, almost everybody. What's your fondest?
Not really.
Not really? Okay, go ahead.
I think you must have rubbed off me for being around you covering golf. But no, if you asked the two pros who covered me, I don't think they'd agree with that. But
okay.
Anyways, you know what? Man, that's the double whammy, Mike. Not only getting called to the general manager's office at Augusta National, but the Floyd stare. You got that close up, the death stare. That's one of the great death stares in golf. What was it like?
I think he learned it from Shula, the jaw. They were good friends, and they lived together, near each other for a while down there in Indian Creek. But I think, you say I rubbed off on you. I think it was Bricker rubbed off on me, and then I rubbed off on you, and it just kind of went from there. But
Yeah. I'm sure Shula had shared his affection for you with Raymond also.
Shula hated you too?
Shula hated him.
I wouldn't use the word hate.
Mayo
but
didn't pull punches.
Maybe a strong dislike.
Wow.
So, Randy, I don't know if, I mean, do you have, I guess, any opinions about this year's field? Is Scotty Scheffler? Well, actually, before getting into talking about golf and I don't know how much you followed anymore. I don't follow much at all, but I did follow the fact that the Champions Dinner took place last night. Scotty Scheffler had on the menu, he was getting ridiculed because his opening course was cheeseburger sliders. And people were saying, what is this, like the first grade? He's got the palate of a 6-year-old. But the rest of the menu was respectable, black and red fish and ribeye steaks and I guess some sort of like a shrimp, popcorn shrimp or something else appetizer. Anything in the way of that sticks out to you in terms of Masters dinners from the past, or what would you put on your menu if you ended up winning Augusta National one day?
Yeah, I love that. Remember Tiger in '98? It was cheeseburgers and fries.
That's right.
One of the old champs had said they passed on his menu and had a steak. But Faldo. Actually, I did a little research here, Mike. I didn't know this was coming, but I thought might. I'm going on a show with Mike Mayo talking about food. So Faldo had fish and chips. Crenshaw had a Texas barbecue. Olazabal had paella and hockey. I don't know what that is. H-A-K-E and tapas. Fred Couples, another good friend of Mike Mayo, who loves Mike. Chicken cacciatore. Sandy Lyle, haggis. That had to be one of them wild. And mashed turnips.
Right. Yeah. I spoke about the haggis yesterday because Sandy Lyle from Scotland. It's like stuffed sheep intestines with all kinds of mashed up offal. You'd like that a lot. It's kind of like gefilte fish.
I'd be putting gefilte fish on the Masters menu, which I don't think you'll find at Augusta National. I don't even think they allow it on the grounds.
No, well, yeah, you're probably right. Because I would say if I ever did it, if I was creating a menu, I would want to have something that's never been seen before. And mine would be matzo ball soup with chicken. So
I would do stone crabs.
Randy, what would you put on your menu?
Okay, you'll laugh at this, but it's spaghetti and meatballs, and I'll tell you why. Okay. I'm married to a third-generation Italian-American. Her maiden name was Nicolina Ippolito. She traded in all those vowels to become Mrs. Mel, and her family has this fabulous. Her mother, Mama Ippolito, made these unbelievable meatballs. I would beg her to come and make the meatballs. They were the size of softballs.
Nice.
They were better than steak, better than prime rib, and I'm not kidding you. And my wife. It's a funny thing though. The Italians, they have these great recipes, and they all got to change them. Like my wife has slightly changed it, so it's a sore spot here because she's always asking, "Is it as good as my mother's?" And I have to lie. So,
all right, well, spaghetti and meatballs, good. I'll eat anywhere, anytime, including Augusta National's clubhouse. Defo, I'm sure, has a question about who he should pick in this week's Masters.
Oh man, well, I guess draft. The thing was, did this look anything like? Some kind of mob summit where everybody got mad at each other because did the Live Tour guys show up for the dinner? And that would have been the first time they were all assembled together.
Was there a food fight? Yeah, that would be the move.
Yeah.
They'd start throwing.
I haven't read about a food fight, but it was. It had to be one of the weirdest champions dinners.
Nick Faldo said they should have definitely used plastic utensils yesterday.
I got the Ray Floyd stare also one time because he had won Doral in a stretch duel there. It came down to 18. Freddie Couples put it behind the trees on the right on 18, and he ended up, I think, bogeying the hole. Floyd won the tournament. And we were positioned there as the official radio station of the tournament. So I'm supposed to get an interview automatically with the winner. Floyd hated talk radio, like he hated you guys in the print. And so he wouldn't do it. And Freddie Couples, who had just lost a heartbreaker, and I'm surprised Mayo has an issue with Couples. It shows you how hard
I don't have an issue
Mayo
with him.
is.
He has an issue with me.
Yeah, but
this guy could not have been a nicer guy. Even in the aftermath of a crushing defeat, he sat down with me for about 45 minutes, actually, after the tournament, and did the interview while Ray Floyd shined us on. And then was particularly upset with everybody when we criticized his remake of the course when he turned the Blue Monster into like a clown par 3 with nothing but sand, and everybody hated it. But so that's not unusual. But Couples, I find it surprising. anybody could have an issue with him. He seems like the nicest guy on the planet.
Randy, you want to tell him that story?
This is worse than some of those chefs that
Mayo,
Mike gave
golf.
1 star
Like,
to.
they're mild-mannered people. Like, what are you doing in golf?
Managed to
Well,
add
It's not football.
That cheesesteak
We
looks
could
great.
go-
Oh, you got the Mayo.
Got
Look
the
at
Mayo,
that.
yeah.
Wow, that's.
So I
also
want to
great.
hear this couple story.
Yeah.
Sorry, Randy.
My man Rich B is off to the side here. You remember
Wow.
Rich B? Rich B Brick is here also enjoying
Oh,
a Mayo
outstanding.
sandwich, and it looks fantastic.
It really looks
Wow,
good.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
All right, but go ahead. I'm
Watch
sorry.
the sandwich. Bonnie's going to take the other half.
Oh, yeah. Well, we are. Hi, Bonnie. Yeah, Mike just had a way of making friends on the range and different places. But actually, Mike wrote it was Fred Couples was the defending champion at the Honda Classic.
Jesus.
That's what it was, Mike. And you did a big takeout, and it happened to be
A profile.
right after
His
Fred's
divorce.
a profile. Freddie's divorce, which was a lot of news, and Mike had to write about it. So I thought you did a fair job in it, but Freddie did not like you wandering into that territory at all, as you found out. Although at first you thought he liked the story, right, Mike?
Oh, yeah. So here's what happened. It was a profile I was assigned to do on the defending champion. And as opposed to 99% of other golf writers who would just write a puff piece about how wonderful it was to have such a champion of his stature, Freddie actually lived in South Florida, and he went through a contentious divorce with Deborah. And everybody remembers the image of Deborah not just running up to him and giving him a hug, but straddling Freddie on the 72nd hole of Augusta National. After
They didn't see her pick his pocket for his wallet.
that was coming later.
Yeah.
But there was
Was that sexist? No, that wasn't meant.
No, there was a contentious divorce. And I went into I guess this is why I was destined to become a city-side columnist. And Randy, of course, an excellent investigative journalist who won numerous awards for coverage of all kinds of scandals at the University of Miami. So he knows this, that I went into actual investigative reporter mode where I know that there were, divorce files are public record. And I went into the divorce files and I picked out some what I thought were kind of interesting bits. I didn't want to get too salacious.
He considered him a little unflattering.
And he considered it delving into private matters that had no place in a profile feature story of him. And when he saw me at his press conference before the event, he looks at me, he just goes, "Hey, nice article. Really nice." And I look at him like I thought it was actually good.
Positive, yeah.
Oh,
I
you like
started
it, huh?
nodding, and he goes, "What a clown." So that became the standard Mike Mayo
journalist.
catchphrase.
Yes.
is,
What a
love you
clown.
so
What a
much.
clown.
How do you piss everyone off?
And I think one time I showed up an event with a red nose and maybe some big
you
floppy
probably
shoes.
did. You would lean into
I
it.
wish Randy was here to see this chicken parm,
This
the
chicken
new
parm.
Lubie or whatever that's
So
going to be.
those are yours.
Yeah.
Nice.
This
Yeah.
is massive.
Nice.
Wow.
We're
great.
Mike,
Go ahead. Yes.
Mike, you share this quality. I always thought you shared this quality with Dan Lebitard in that you both can get people so upset and angry at you, and yet when you're with a Mike Mayo or with Dan Lebitard, you guys you're charming. You're so likable. It's so at odds with the media profile that you both have.
He's a great man, but
I think that's changing in both of them, Randy. That might be an old impression you had of him.
No, people still.
You saw him before the show today. You wouldn't have wanted to be
Yeah, I
sitting
was a
next
little
to
bit
him. Yeah.
irascible. There were too
Yeah.
many things going on. But Randy, no, I appreciate that compliment. I've changed my person. I actually, now that I'm in the food world, I've become kind of like soft and cuddly. Well, very soft.
Well, they
and
like
cuddly.
you, the food people,
the
but they're
food
scared of you.
business people.
They're more scared of you.
Yeah.
scared of
Is
you.
it respect
They
or is
fear
it
you.
fear?
No,
Yeah,
they're
they
scared
fear
to death
you,
of you.
yes.
It's the funniest thing in the whole world.
There's only one reason we're getting all of this food coming. No.
No, they're
they,
scared to
they
death.
fear Mayo Mel, if you can
There you
believe
go.
it.
Take a hunk of this.
All right,
look at
I'll
this.
leave
And this
you-
bread looks like the semolina bread
looks
that
great,
I've seen at some of my favorite area sandwich shops. Look
Wow.
at this.
This
If I
is
eat
great.
this, I can't eat anything
That
else.
looks
today.
good.
He's
I know, and he's
more
bringing out a
sandwiches.
lot more stuff.
I wish you could be here, Randy. Next time you come down, besides playing around the golf, you should come out here to Wicked Cheesesteaks because they do a really great job. And Bonnie's become like their number one fan. She comes out here because it's around the corner from her house. So, what's up in
it
your
sounds
world? Yeah, go ahead.
It sounds like you guys are ringing up the calorie count there. Yeah, I wish
Yes,
I
yes,
wish
we
I
are.
was there.
It's not hard to do, yeah.
This is my life now. This is the business we have chosen. Oh
Well,
man, Randy.
Mike, you also had the great relationship with Dan Marino. He had a restaurant.
Me and Dan
I
got a
remember
long
being
term
at a
deal.
golf tournament. You
Yeah.
were at
Oh
a
my
golf
God,
the
man.
Honda Classic. He was playing in a pro-am, and you and him got into it on the race.
Oh, that I've blacked out, but okay, yeah, I guess these things have happened.
No wonder you got out of this.
Yeah,
The minute they came with the buyout, he was like, yeah, that's me. Where do I get my check?
Sorry, Mike. I
No,
hope I'm not.
it's all good. No, it's look. I prided myself as a journalist on I was serving the readers first. I wasn't there to massage players or coaches' egos, but now my life has changed, and I do love the restaurant business. But getting back to, do you have any opinions on this week's field, or like, does Tiger have any shot of making the cut, much less winning?
No, you know what? I think I have to confess that since I retired, I really have removed myself from the golf scene. I'll watch the majors and stuff, but I just don't follow it like I do. And I'm enjoying my retirement. I'm getting to do you guys, all those things that we can't do when we were under deadline. And you never knew when you'd be at the dinner table and news would break and you couldn't finish dinner with the kids. And so I'm really enjoying doing all those things I couldn't do. Kind of become a amateur hobbyist filmmaker, where I've really gotten into filmmaking. I think if I'd went back and done it again, I would love to have done that. But I like to make creative family films, creative films for my friends that if they have kids who play ball. I'm really enjoying that. I should make a business out of that, but then I might.
Any hobby can become a business. I am living proof with my eating. So, no, that sounds good. Well, you know what? Just not because you haven't followed it doesn't mean you could not have an opinion, because that's my motto. I don't really follow anything anymore, but I'll go on the record and say that Tiger Woods will make the cut. And because, it was just 5 years ago, I think. No, 4 years ago. 2019. Yeah, 2019, where he shocked the world. And I remember watching with my dad, who was very sick at the time, but he managed to get up out of bed, and we watched some of that final round together. And it was only about a week before he passed. And I'll never forget that, because it was just one of those Masters memories where when you watch it and you see things like Nicklaus in '86, or Tiger in '97 winning his first one, or Tiger in '19 winning his most recent one. It's really a great tournament, because it takes place on the same stage every year, so you have all those markers of the past. Defo, did you ever get to go up there? Or
no, never been there. It's pretty tough to get a ticket. I don't know that I was going to get credentialed, but I always love it. I'm thinking it's going to be very interesting this year, because there are a lot of guys that play that course very well, and even previous champions, right, that defected to the Live Tour. So when we'll see, I want to see Rory McIlroy chasing Koepka around with a 9-iron, like it was Tiger and Elin, many years ago.
Or like it was Raymond Floyd and Mayo.
Raymond Floyd and anybody for that matter. I mean, the guy was just an ornery sucker. That's all you can say.
I would love to see Rory win it. And, I was in golf for a great run. I started in '97 for you, Mike, when you moved on. And, Tiger, he wins the Masters, and got to cover all of the Tiger era. And then you had Rory come along, and Jordan Spieth, and Justin Thomas, Jason Day. And the thing that I really loved and appreciated about those guys, especially Rory, was how they were so great. They were superstars in the media center, which Tiger never was. A superstar player, but just so intentionally dull. And I get it. If he says anything semi-controversial at the headline, he has to deal with it. So, he understood that. But it was not always. He made the way he played easy to write about. But I used to take a yellow highlighter on the transcripts from the interviews, and Nicklaus was in there, and practically 5 complete pages were yellow. And with Tiger, it'd be 4 pages, and I might have 2 yellow strokes for quotes that you can use.
Yeah.
Rory and Spieth and Thomas, and Koepka too. They're so good for the game because of their frankness, their candidness, their willingness to speak out and say things that players of the past wouldn't tread onto. I'd love to see Rory win to complete his resume, and I just think he's a fun, good guy.
Lefty was pretty good too as an interview and talker. Mickelson
Well, I don't
also
know if
had
he's doing much these days.
dynamic. Now he's too busy taking blood money, but that's okay. We all have a price. Go ahead.
When you're sitting in listening to Mickelson, a lot of times you're sitting there thinking, "Oh my God, this is such bull crap." But then you're thinking, "It's golden." No, it may be BS, but it is golden.
Oh, all right. All good, Randy. Hey, look, I appreciate that you're able to stop by. Next time you're in town, we're going to hopefully catch up and you'll come out in person on the Lunchbox so everybody could see.
Yeah, you got to come out.
And now we have just been hit with the Defo sandwich here. I can't believe the amount of food that Brian is putting
I
in
messed
front
up.
of us.
That was on, that's on me.
But Randy, appreciate your time. Say hi to the lovely Nikki. And we'll be in touch again and enjoy this week's Masters, whatever you do.
And Bonnie
if you're
sends her
watching it
love.
or not watching it, and Bonnie does send her love. So thanks, Randy.
Well, as my wife would say, manja.
Believe me,
Happy holidays.
I have
Thanks
no
a lot,
problem.
Randy. Appreciate
All good. Happy Easter, my man. We'll talk to you soon. And we need to take a break. We need to talk about Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market, even though we're at Wicked. And now we've got
I got to see La Fry.
Yeah, go. Well, I think we got to.
Oh, look at these.
I got to take a bite.
We will have to eat some of this.
That is a whopper, man.
I went a little crazy. But
you devoured the chicken parm, which we're going to call that the Lubie, but we got to do something with the regular.
But I'm saying I over ordered, which something Mayo does a lot. So we're going to have to at least.
And you got to eat all that bread before sundown.
I'm pounding it. But one thing you can never over order is at Delaware Chicken Farm.
And with all the holidays coming up, you can run in there this afternoon to pick up your chopped liver, gefilte fish, brisket for the Passover holidays, the Seder's coming up the next 2 nights. And then, of course, for those who celebrate Good Friday and Easter, they've got everything you need for those occasions as well. They've got lamb and steaks and beef and all kinds of quality products. But they're, of course, best known for their seafood, the selection of fresh fish and seafood like the Key West pink shrimp and the stone crab, every variety, every size that you want. Go into Delaware Chicken Farm Seafood Market, 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just south of Sterling Road, right across from the old classic Seminole Bingo Parlor Casino. And you can't miss it. It's got a big chicken on the roof. So go to Delaware. Go to DelawareChicken.com for the weekly specials, along with the daily updates of the freshest catch. And don't forget, they do have curbside pickup if you want. But better yet, go inside, see all the great offerings with your own eyes. Delaware Chicken, Doug Carter and his crew will take great care of you. Tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
Great place. And I suggest that for anybody that's interested in that Passover type of stuff. I mean, just get it there and make it easy. So you're diving in on the Defo.
I got to check out my competition.
Yeah, see what's going on with that.
I've already had the Mayo sandwich, and I saw Rich B's.
We're going to tee up some more food here on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox in a moment.
Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox, Mayo, and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox, Mayo, and Defo sent.
We're back on the Lunchbox. It is a Wicked Cheesesteak remote edition. Brian, do you want to come down and
have a
sit in for a second and fill
look
us
at that.
in?
There you
And
go.
he hit us with the mayo sandwich at the very end here. We are having a unbelievable feast where we're going to welcome in Brian, the owner, proprietor, chef extraordinaire, bread baker extraordinaire.
Good
of
job.
Wicked
I'm very
Cheesesteaks.
proud of the Defo. It's fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
It has
Yeah.
a little, like a lot of people are going crazy over the Defo here.
I understand that people are even disparaging my name when they ordered the Defo. I
But
mean,
there's no shame in the Mayo sandwich. It's a whole
No,
different thing.
It's
Yeah.
a pork issue, I think.
well, what I've been saying is I didn't realize that sandwich wars had begun. That there's a Defo and a Mayo on the menu,
and then maybe a Lubie. I don't know.
and the Lubie. We're going to do something with that chicken parm to give it a little bit of a variation.
Yeah.
Maybe to just to kind of put his own spin on it and get him into the mix. But I got to tell you, I mean, I understand why, because cheesesteaks is more popular, and then putting it in this house baked, the poppy, the Kaiser roll,
yes.
which is hard to find in Florida a lot, and you do this so spectacularly well. All your breads are great.
Thank you.
But the fact, I mean, it doesn't surprise me because people, the masses, they go for things that are more familiar. So the cheesesteak is popular, and I'm, I guess, saddened to learn that
Your
the
number
Defo,
is 2.
the Defo is kicking the Mayo's pork butt, so to speak. So
No disgrace, though, Mike. I would not take that too hard
Well,
because
let's,
I'm looking at a Mayo
Let's
sandwich
take
here.
a bite
and
of the mayo.
Bonnie's already
All
got
right.
her eyes
How
on
was the
that.
chicken
the
parm?
chicken parm is great, and you know what I think about this bread, the semolina bread, crunchy and crusty. For some people, it's a little bit too much. For me, as a native Brooklynite, this reminds me of all the Italian delis and corner
So we have to
stores
perfect
that I used to
Libo, yeah.
love. But here we go. Look at this thing. You can't see this thing. It's a wall of pork and
All right, here we
melted
go.
cheese goodness and the broccoli
For the
rabe.
world record.
And should I put a little shake of the hot sauce on it before I
Make
devour
sure
it?
you prepare it right.
Yeah, there we go. I
There you
gotta give
Great
this
hot
is
sauce, by
his
the way.
own house. Everything you do here. I mean,
Everything's from
and every
scratch,
time I come in man.
We're trying
This
different
is
things.
something new. What possesses you to do this? And now you're doing ice cream. Tell me about the ice cream while I stuff my face with the
we
mayo.
gotta be like walk with gentle feet here because of Jackson's. But actually, my wife just came back from Jackson's bringing the bread. So
Oh
we
my
have to-
god! I'm sorry, Defo. I kick your butt. This is so good.
It looks great.
Mm.
I mean, I don't take it personally. I mean, that was your sandwich of choice there. You thought it should be
It
the
all started.
signature
It all started with the
sandwich
Mike
of Philadelphia. Yeah.
This
So-
one, it's like you've refined it so that the meat is now
tender, more
tender, and it's
It's
just
got
fall
a-
apart in
It's
your
got the
mouth.
mayo love to it.
But it still maintains its pork integrity. And
I don't apologize for him anymore, people. It is what it is, as Dave
no, but
Onstad
it's
would
just the
say.
marinade. The
This is the sophisticated food critic
You don't
of
want to
the
see what
formerly
happened yesterday.
Sun
Two
Salem.
grown adults our age came in
Mhm.
and go, "We're here for the Defo." And I don't want to go into the rest of the mayo issue, but
Yeah.
no,
They
they
go-
started
they-
lambasting me
one-
for being a
one
bad
guy-
Jew. Of like, how can I have a sandwich that is comprised of pork?
and one guy I
And-
forgot the other comment. The other guy goes, "The only thing I do the mayo is mayo on the Defo, please."
That's
Which I much better with hot sauce, I would say, than mayo, for sure.
now this is unbelievable stuff that you keep
Is it
coming up
good?
with here.
How is the
it
wings? A
good?
little spicy?
Did you see my reaction? You can't fake a foodgasm like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unbelievable stuff. And
Good.
we're going to get in all our bread goodness. I'm not like Lubie. Well, I'm a very confused
So
individual.
Lubie likes a softer bun.
He likes a softer bun. He's
He
like
likes a little
Defo.
less soft approach.
This is, to me, this is when you
The
get
sauce
that
good?
that
Softer bun?
crusty semolina, it just brings me back to all those Italian sub shops and pizzerias where you get the meatball parmesan heroes and all that stuff that had the great crusty stuff. But meanwhile, we're enjoying our bread. I will still be eating bread throughout the Passover holiday because I'm a man of contradictions. I call myself an agnostic Jew who will also follow Lent, and I'm a friend to all religions. And
So it's a disgrace.
Well, let me
It
give you a
really
little
is.
sample of the
Yeah.
ice cream that my wife lovingly
okay,
made
I
for
already
you
had a
guys.
little bit of the shake. It's
Good.
delicious.
Good.
The pure
Shake is
vanilla
beautiful,
goodness.
man. What's the secret there? That is.
That's
I know
not that
Bonnie's a
hard.
big fan of your ice cream here, but
Let's get let me
that-
give you a
that
little
is very
sample of the
different.
ice cream while you
Yeah.
get a minute.
Oh, and just I gotta ask you, the fries. Are these fresh cut or are you?
No, they're like a high end fry.
high end fry because
really
they
are
have that
great,
like
man.
a
Sorry,
nice
Michael.
crust with a big fluffy
These are
interior.
great.
It's really
Very
I
good.
was working on
It's
the
a good
hot
product.
sauce on the wings. It might be a little too hot.
All right, that's all
Yeah,
right.
let's get a little bite
Yeah,
to it.
especially I might start. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's hard to complete the show when you're choking. All right, good job, my
Let me
friend.
get
As
the ice cream.
usual.
Let me get the
Excellent,
ice
Thank
Brian,
you
man.
very
Great
much.
job.
And thank you for putting
Another
me
brilliant
up on
day.
the
Wicked
big video
Cheesesteaks.
board. He's got the Lunchbox. He's my best. I'm not going to hire him as
Sandwich
my,
Wars,
my
yeah.
PR agent because he's got like the Lunchbox, the screen with all three of us up there saying Lunchbox approved and the different sandwiches. You probably should. Yeah, he's been he's been around a long time.
Too
and,
long
yeah,
at this
no,
point.
it's all
Too
good.
long.
And the Defo is kicking the Mayo's pork butt, so I have to.
That
live with
was delicious.
But-
It was a different type of bread for a cheesesteak, and a nice little
It's a more
diversion there
manageable.
from the usual. Yeah,
It's a more manageable package, and it also is absolutely.
you could eat it in a
delicious.
car, which will be good for dining while driving, which is going to be our next show. Yeah,
Mm.
that was great. A
Good
regular
stuff.
cheesesteak's a little sloppy, Yeah.
Good stuff, Brian. All right, he'll be back with ice cream. We're going to be back after our last break, but I first have to consume the rest of the Defo sandwich, and also
Well, it's where we're gonna go. I think Monday. Well, hopefully we can get Defo out there.
I want to go
When
to
you
Tropical
get
Acres.
over your Lent extravaganza, I think no better way to
Easter Sunday,
uncork
and
your
then
no alcohol
Monday
than get
half price
half-price
wine night at Tropical Acres Steakhouse, which we love so much. It's been around since 1949. The Studiali family does a tremendous job, and they're going to be open this Sunday. A rare treat, a Sunday supper at Tropical Acres for Easter. You can still get in there. They're still taking a few reservations at 954-989-2500. They're open from 1 to 8 p.m. on Easter Sunday. And then, of course, their usual hours are every week from Monday through Saturday. And they've got the happy hour in the bar on the weeknights, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30. They got the half-price wine Monday and Tuesday. They've got the great filet mignon and prime rib and seafood items. And Defo loves going there. I love going
It's
there.
a great spot.
It's
Really is.
It's funny
Terrific.
because it's
Yeah.
old school, so you don't hear the term vibe with old school, but it to me has a good vibe. Like
Have a piano player
you
in there.
feel at home when you go to Tropical Acres.
Yeah, it is a homely place. A homey place.
Homey, not homely.
Yes.
Homely.
Homey.
We're homely when we're
We're
there.
homely.
I'm homely.
It's
all the time.
homey.
And they will take great care of you. And they, because they're all about that old school values, service, studiality, family. Jack is the major domo, but some nights when he's not there, you got his sons, Joe and Jackson, working. They'll take great care of you as well. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, now back to wrap up. Not only the show, but a lot of food here.
Good thing I have my physical, semi-annual physical tomorrow. I'm going to be in great
Jesus.
shape for my blood sugar
I'm
and cholesterol
sorry.
and weight reading.
It's bad when the nurse breaks out in laughter as she brings you back to the place to get on the scale.
You
That-
baked Wicked Cheesesteaks
always
the
ugly.
day before Passover.
All right,
Right?
Yeah,
we'll
great
wrap this
timing.
up here in a moment from Wicked Cheesesteaks.
Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, we are back from the last break, and this feels like the Last Supper almost. I mean,
Sorry.
the Last Supper was a Passover Seder, by the way.
It was.
And it was, I guess, on what's now Good Friday.
Yes.
And it feels like this might be the last lunch. It's the last lunch with bread for Lubie. For
Well,
a
now you
while.
know what I want when I'm going to. Not when, God forbid. If I ever had to go to the chair, if there was ever a last meal,
This is the place.
this is it. Yeah, I did it today.
Imagine.
And
You
we
tell
didn't
the
even.
warden I want to go to Brian's place, Wicked Cheesesteaks
Just
in
have
Fort
Brian
Lauderdale.
come by.
I mean, we had the chicken parm, the mayo sandwich with the roast pork that he's made more tender. It's still sliced, but the way it's layered,
It looks different.
it
It looks
it's
a little different.
almost like
Yeah, it looks
it's not it's not the pulled pork or the lechon asado. It's still sliced, but it's just so thin and tender, and it's really easier to eat now. And we got the Defo sandwich. We haven't seen the lobster roll,
This is
but
heaven, yeah.
Christina Wan from Christina Wan's restaurant that we did the show last week, she came out here on the weekend, had a lobster roll, proclaimed it great. So you can get all these things here at Wicked Cheesesteaks.
And
And now we're having the dessert.
you can get homemade ice cream.
That is sick.
He's
Yeah.
now added to his mix because he doesn't have enough to do. He also still runs a commercial bakery and runs around delivering loaves of bread all over the place. But they have this house-made ice cream, and this is their, I guess, chocolate Nutella ice cream.
Beautiful.
What do you think? Are you an ice cream guy?
Yeah, no, everybody loves ice cream. I mean, it's un-American, un-Trumpian not to like ice cream. It's
Joe
fantastic.
Biden likes ice cream.
Literally melts in your mouth. Just absolutely delicious. Great flavor. Fantastic. I mean, everything Brian does, it really is incredible. And you know, it's one of the things that we respect about a lot of the places we go to, and especially the places we endorse. They get so into it. I mean, and the way they present things. I mean, you know, this is essentially a sandwich shop. But here he does all these exotic things. More. Yeah, it's fantastic. It really is. And the pizza is underrated. I mean, it's
no. And I took a bite.
Right there,
I think the sauce on it is great. The cheese, everything. It's a good slice of pizza. It's
look at the variety. I mean, you can get. Yeah,
he does well, which is why he's Lunchbox approved, because not everybody or anybody can just come stumbling onto the Lunchbox show. You've got to pass our rigorous taste test.
Yes. And in other words, feed Mike during the show.
Yes.
And we benefit because even just your leftovers
you're
are
like
fantastic.
What's the fish that trails behind the whale, the krill, or I don't even know what it is. It's just, but you get the scraps.
We just draft him behind you, you know. I mean, it's like following Jeter to a club, you know. And
you still do well.
Those are 4 beautiful women, and you know, you get the leftovers.
Before we finish today, and I usually I don't talk politics, but yesterday on the show I said I wasn't gonna watch, that I'm sick of it. I'm done with that whole reality show. But you know what? I couldn't resist. I watched some of it. Defo. I don't want to comment too much, except to say that, you know how you used to say the scariest words in the English language. What are some of the 2 scariest words?
Groupings of 2 words. You know, 7 out. I do. You know, they're
I do.
Market price.
7 out. Market price.
Yeah. Any of those things.
Well, I say the other 2 words that you could add to the list are Rikers Island.
So,
no, that's not good.
I don't know.
They sent that accountant, the 70-year-old accountant to Rikers. Can you imagine? He must have felt like a new fish at Oz. Remember that show on Showtime? It was pretty radical.
I do remember that show. But that's a place I didn't even want to visit. As a journalist, I never even set foot on it. It's just a place that, as anybody who grew up in New York says, you don't want to end up in the Fresh Kills landfill if you cross the wrong people. And you also don't ever want to go to Rikers Island. So we'll see if that is the end result of the unending reality show that is the saga.
This was a reality show unto itself here today. Brian knocked himself out. Unbelievable. Great stuff.
Wow, unbelievable. I'm going to have some stuff to box up and take home. Good thing I am going to be eating 11 products along with my matzah and chopped liver. But Lubie, we don't say have a good fast, but have a good
happy Passover.
Have a happy Pesach.
Yes. And it's a happy holiday. It's Easter.
And of course, we want to say hi to our friend Nikki Mohan. Yes. Don't forget, visit Lauderdale.com. A big month coming up with the Tortuga Festival. A lot of people coming to town. If you want any kind of updates on places to stay, places to go, things to do, and also places to eat, go to visitlauderdale.com. Their website has it all. Yes. All right, that's going to do it for today. Tomorrow,
Aruba tomorrow. That's going to be good.
Yeah,
and then Gulfstream. With what you have a lot of big races going.
Yeah, Keeneland is opening, and we're going to be having live racing at Gulfstream on Friday, along with opening day at Keeneland spring meet. I'm going to be like a pig in a Mayo sandwich. I'm going to be very, very happy. The next few days, we just keep rolling along. Operative word, rolling. Yeah. And thanks to Bonnie and Sarni for coming out, and Rich, Randy Mel for calling in. All of you for tuning in and bearing with us during our little hiccups. And that's going to do it for today. Remember to enjoy every sandwich. And when I say enjoy every sandwich, today I'm really eating every sandwich.